1113, what's up? Morning, folkers. Good afternoon, evening, wherever you're at in the world. Well, hold on. Sorry about that. Had to answer a phone call. They tried to implicate Breonna Taylor in some bullshit plea deal in July. Word? You had to answer a phone call. Anyway, good morning. Give people time to trickle in here. Offered her boyfriend to reduce sentence he declined. Oh, good for him. He was defending his home. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, he met him at the usual spot, climbing these stairs. Yeah, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend was defending his home against intruders. Now, that they were cops doesn't change the fact that they were intruders. Yeah, her ex-boyfriend might have been a drug dealer. You know what a drug dealer is? A drug dealer is someone who provides a service and a product to people that want it. That's what a drug dealer is. You know who also is a drug dealer? Your local pharmacist. Oh, well, it is what it is. When they arrest a street drug dealer, you have to wonder why they don't arrest a pharmaceutical drug dealer. They're both providing a product that people feel they need and want. So what we got going on here is a monopoly on a service that the government wants to control. So does her ex-boyfriend dealing drugs, is he committing a crime? Is he committing a crime if he's selling drugs to willing people? No, don't even tax it. Tax it for what? No. What happens is you legalize it and you make sure that the products are safe. You have better control. You can do it out in the open. You don't have to step on anything. You don't have to spread it out. You don't have to worry about the government functionaries knocking down your door. So then you put out a superior product that will be less likely to cause issues. But you see, even when drugs are well regulated, they still cause problems. Even from your doctor. So your doctor can sell you a drug that has 8 million side effects. And they can tell you what those side effects are the side effects can be worse than what they're supposed to be, than the drug is treating. So, you know, there are a lot of dangerous things in this world that people like to participate in or partake in, and you're not going to stop it. The more you try to stop it, the more you try to make it illegal, the worse it's going to be. The worse it's going to be. You know? Skydiving. Just letting people mind their own business. If they want to buy some drugs, let them buy some drugs. As long as they're not harming someone, as long as they're not stealing from somebody to obtain those drugs, you're not going to stop it. People want to do drugs, they're going to do drugs. They're going to find the drugs, but they're going to find crappy drugs that are stepped on and cut with chemicals to make it stretch. So that's what they're getting. Because there's always going to be a black market. The free market will always find a way. Stay away from them pukes. Marcy T, what's good, mama? What pukes? So, how you guys doing this morning? Make sure you hit the like when you come up in here. Love you too, Marcy. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the god dang rabbits and whatnot scurrying around. So make sure you hit the like button when y'all come up in here. Oh yeah, the boys in blue. Oh yeah. So let me tell you what happened in LA yesterday. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So in South LA, not far from where I live, a young man, a black dude by the name of Dijon Kizee was riding his bike. Okay? He was riding his bike, and some sheriff deputies decided they wanted to accost him because he was violating some traffic stuff. All right? He was, according to them, he was violating, he was committing traffic violations, which is not a crime, right? It's an infraction. It's not a crime, right? Whatever he was doing, I don't know exactly what he was doing to cause this infraction, to violate this traffic law. But needless to say, it's probably a superfluous traffic law that's designed for the big blue gang to extort people. You see, many of these laws and regulations are designed to feed the coffers of the city or the state or the country. So that's really what many of these laws are designed for. They don't really care about your safety. They just want to make sure they can keep their coffers filled. So anyway, so he's riding his bike and he violates a traffic violation. Black Springwood Autumn was good. How you doing today? So there's a traffic violation, right? So the cops confront him, and he decides to run. He runs, he takes off. And this is according to witnesses. I don't know if there's a video yet. I'll put a link in the description. Just like I got to remember to put the link to the CDC 6% bullshit in the description for last time I did a live. Anyway, but y'all can find that. It's on the CDC. But I'll put the link in that in the description as well. You hanging around? Cool. Black Spring. So they gave chase to Dijon, and they tackle him and harass him or and fight with him, right? Oh, I gotta stay in the fight. I gotta stay in the fight. As you can see, it's overcast skies in here in Southern California. these might actually be real, natural overcast. I don't feel the high pressure like I do when they spray and irradiate. So interesting. It's only like 70 degrees right now. So anyway, so natural is very rare. So they grab them, start fighting with them. Great content on the Geo. Oh yeah? What's that about, Breck Spring? What you talking about? So anyway, the Geo, is that a YouTube channel?
So much drama with the first one.
So they grab him, start wrestling with him, and he drops a bundle of clothes, right? Drops a bundle of clothes. And according to the deputy, oh yeah, the spray, no doubt. Yeah, the spray is real. See, they like to say it's not, but there were a few months here during the pandemic, my bad, where there were no trails in the sky at all. I wish I'd recorded. I should have recorded it daily. Yeah, there were no trails at all, and so that eliminates the theory of, oh well, that they're natural. If they're natural, they wouldn't be disappearing for 3 months at a time. Anyway, then they came back for a little bit. Last couple weeks, we had the high pressure dome and the fires. And now we got the fires, no more spraying. I'm just saying. Anyway, so they see the gun in the bundle of clothes and they say, fuck it, let's just blast this guy away. They see a gun on the ground and shoot him to death. Why not? Didn't I say that that's what should be done? Remember last week and the week before I said, why waste time trying to investigate? Why waste time with due process? We assume somebody's a criminal. We assume we show up. If we show up to a call, or if we see somebody is violating a law, we should just kill them outright, right? That's what they did. Except they wasted a little time chasing him. They should have just shot him right there as soon as he violated the traffic law. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you pull someone over for a traffic violation, there's a good chance they're going to have something that is considered illegal. And so if they have that something that's illegal, then the gang in blue automatically has carte blanche to blast you. Okay? I mean, that's pretty much what I gather from this whole thing, right? Because a routine traffic stop can lead to death for a person. So, and what happens 9 times out of 10 is that gang member in blue gets away with it and they get paid administrative leave. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the murderers of Dejan, well, due process, right? The cops deserve due process too. But they're not denying that they killed the guy. It's not like, oh no, we didn't kill him. No, they're giving you a reason they killed him, right? Because they saw a gun on the ground, not in his hand, according to witnesses. See, witnesses that were there say that he didn't have the gun in his hands, nor was he reaching for the gun on the ground. They just decided to just go ahead and shoot the guy. So, this is going to get nationwide coverage, and I'm going to get out ahead of all your favorite conservatives, okay? Because we already know what the left's going to do. They're going to say it's racially charged, blah blah blah. We know that. And what's the right going to do? Well, they're going to justify the shooting any way they can. They're going to say, oh, well, he shouldn't have ran from the police. Oh, he shouldn't have dropped his clothes. Oh, he shouldn't have had a gun. But wait a minute. If we can kill people, right? If we can kill people simply for possessing a firearm, what's the purpose of the Second Amendment? If you agree with that, you people on the right, let's say you agree with it. Okay. The police feared for their life because they saw a gun on the ground. So now, what are we saying? Let's say I'm in Texas. Well, wait, Texas is purple. It's slowly turning blue. Let's say we're in Arizona. Right? We're in Arizona, and Arizona is constitutional carry. You don't need a license for anything. You can have pretty much any firearm you want, except for the one your red boy Reagan banned when he was president, the fully automatic weapons ban. Who did that? A red guy. Okay, Pimpin'? So anyway, what also did that red guy do? He banned open carry in California because some niggers was walking on to the state capitol with some firearms. We can't be having that. So let's get together with Mulford. Let's get together with the NRA. Let's get together with Reagan and make sure these niggers don't ever possess a firearm in public again. And guess what? There might have been some people in California at the time that would think, oh, hell no. You're not violating our rights to keep and bear arms. But since they saw some niggers marching on the Capitol, they decided, you know what? I'm going to give up my rights too. Because I don't want them damn Negroes to have that shit. Fuck that. By giggly God, I ain't having no goddamn niggers walking around armed. So guess what? Take my shit too. But that's in California. They probably don't talk like that, right? Well, you'd be surprised. Anyway, it's funny what we're willing to give up to stop a certain group of people from getting what we have. Anyway, I digress. So now, you're in Arizona, and Arizona is a free state in terms of the Second Amendment. Well, are we saying that if cops see a person violating a traffic regulation, if we see them and we see a gun on their hip, can we shoot them? Can we just shoot them now? I want us to think about what we're allowing to go down in this country. All right? Let's drop the ideological bullshit and let's deal with the facts. Okay? Did Dijon Kizzee violate a traffic law? I don't know. The cop said he did. But am I supposed to automatically trust the cops because they're cops? Well, okay, he ran. Okay, they grabbed him. He dropped something. They saw a gun in his clothes. They shoot him. At what point did he provoke them into shooting them? And what point during this whole process did they justifiably shoot Dijon Kizzee? Can anybody tell me? I got some smart people up in here, don't I? Can anybody tell me what Kizzee did to provoke the shooting of himself by a cop? I'm just trying to understand what the rules of engagement are. What are the rules of engagement for the Big Blue Army? What are the rules of engagement? Hurt feelings? Marcy T, you got it right on point. Because I'm going to tell you what's going on here. What we're dealing with the Big Blue Army is a group of men and women, many of whom are sociopaths and psychopaths who are drunk on power and are complete narcissists. Now, they love to use the word fear when they justify these murders. Oh, I feared for my life. I feared this. I feared that. Doing some lunges. That what's going on here? Is it fear or is it how dare you resist in any form or fashion? How dare you want to preserve your person and not have your privacy violated? How dare you not want to be forced to have a conversation with me because I didn't signal before I got over? How dare you want to go on about your day without being fucked with? Huh? That's what we got. They say it's fear, but really what it is a healthy dose of psychopathy and sociopathy. That's what we got. These people are clear sociopaths. You understand what I'm saying? Now look, I'm gonna give you an example of how someone might respond in fear and end up killing somebody. Your boy, Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, I actually believe that Kyle Rittenhouse was in fear of his life when he did what he did. Now, the circumstances leading up to him even being there in the first place, him having carried that firearm across state lines, him being a minor, in many ways, up until that point. But at the time, he feared for his life, and he only shot 3 people. Because I genuinely believe he was afraid. Only he used his fear to sharpen his senses and expertly defend his life. I don't care if he's black or white or any other color. He actually feared for his life because he only fired upon the people that threatened his person. Do you get that? Hell, he didn't even shoot it. Well, he probably shot the guy that tried to kick him. He missed him. But the skateboard kid and the guy lunging for him after he heard a shot were actively attacking this person. That is a good example of how you can handle yourself and you're in actual fear of your life. Dijon had not Dijon, 11-13. You talking about, I know you're talking about, I forgot his name. Amber Geiger killed that guy. So, do you really think, do you think, honestly, if a cop, Dijon, I think his name might have been Dijon, Botham. No, his name was Botham. Botham John. That was his name. Good morning, the Minus Parable. He had intentions on shooting. That's why he was wearing latex gloves and no mask. He was looking for trouble. Quentin, I don't know about that. I don't know why he had on gloves. That doesn't make sense. If you intended on kill someone, I don't know. I don't buy it. Because it's not like he sat there. If he wanted to kill a bunch of people, if he just wanted to shoot people, I think he would have shot more people than 3. And I don't think he would have just shot old boy in the arm and let him run off. Nah, I'm not buying it, Quentin. I'm not there with you on that one. Him not wearing a mask, I don't know how that would make you think he intended to kill people that day. From what I understand, he went there at the request of a business owner. No. Does a 17-year-old belong in a riot with a rifle? Huh. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. That depends on what your belief is. Jack Rock, do you believe in the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed? That's the question. You believe the right to keep and bear arms should not be infringed. Okay? Then you should be able to answer that question. Look, I don't rest my laurels. I don't rest on my laurels in regards to the Constitution. It's not the be all end all for me. Now, the Second Amendment is there to recognize our right to keep and bear arms. It doesn't give it to us, right? The Second Amendment, nor the Constitution, gives us the right to keep and bear arms. It's already there. It's already inherent. Whether you believe it's inherent, given to you by God or not, that's up to you. The fact is, no, it's not. What are y'all not getting? Is there an age limit on the Second Amendment? Does it say the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed if you're 18 and older? No, because guess what? When the Second Amendment was enacted, even before that, during the Revolutionary War, there were 14, 13, 15, 16-year-old kids participating in the war. There was no age limit on that war. They were able to pick up an arm and fight for their freedom. Now, that wasn't the freedom of the black folks and the slaves. No, it's not two different things. They're not two different things. If you feel like there's an age limit on your rights, then you got it all wrong, Pippin. You got the wrong thing coming. If you think, why not 18? Why should an 18-year-old, by that logic, why should an 18-year-old be able to carry a firearm? Why should a 21-year-old? You can't drink till you're 21, right? Where are you getting this age from? We're talking about using a tool, right? You gonna say someone can't use a tool because they're 17? Now, what I don't appreciate is the hypocrisy surrounding Kyle. How his past and the laws he violated don't get him in hot water like it did with George Floyd, like it did with Jacob Blake, right? They love to use their criminal history and their drug addiction and their crimes against them when they got shot or when they got killed. But Kyle Rittenhouse, they don't consider that with Kyle Rittenhouse. You know why? Because they're hypocrites. So that's the point. To make that point, if you want to say, okay, because these LACs, right, these law-abiding citizens, they love to use the law to justify an unjustifiable murder. But when it comes to Kyle, well, you know, they can write that law off. That's the only way I'm going to use that, is to point out the hypocrisy. His age and not being able to legally be able to carry a firearm. You can't say that there is an exception to the Second Amendment at all. If you do that, you're part of the problem. Point blank, period. You're the reason we have so little foothold on our rights to keep and bear arms, because you want to say it's okay to violate old enough to you or some bullshit like that. I know 13, 14-year-olds that are expert marksmen, and they're extremely safe with firearms. They have the wherewithal and the expertise to use those firearms safely and proficiently. So And if they demonstrate that, right, then it's up to me as the parent to decide if they can carry that firearm in public. Not you, Jack Rock, not a state function, not a government functionary. It's up to you, the parent, because you as the parent is the only legitimate authority over that child, period. So I'm not rolling. People are quick to call for violence. Change needs to happen from within the system. You can't change from within the system. All right, let me see. I don't put myself in dangerous situation on purpose, then to claim self-defense. Then you, my friend, I feel sorry for you when the shit really hits the fan. That's all I got to say about that. If you're not willing and prepared to defend yourself and defend others' property, because that business is serving you, right? That business is serving you. That community is your community. So if you're going to be like, no, I'm going to sit this one out, and you have, what's to stop them from coming to your door? You don't put yourself in a dangerous situation on purpose? Do you leave the house every day? Do you take a shower in the bathroom? You know that 80% of accidents happen in the bathroom? Do you use the bathroom? There, you cannot escape danger just because you decide that you don't want to leave the house. Or, oh, I'm not going to go to this protest or that protest because it might be dangerous. Well, guess what? As soon as you hop in the car, you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation. Because come to my door and find out, but I don't look for trouble. Good for you, man. So you acknowledge that even being at home can be dangerous. That danger can find you at your home. Good. I hope good. I hope you're ready for it. But I tell you what, there are some people that if they came to your home, you wouldn't know it until it was in your bedroom. Some people got it like that. Computer Whiz, what's up, man? Am I here wrecking again, Pippin? Pushing is his vid, maybe. Kyle Rittenhouse beating up a girl. Yes, he beat up a girl. He's a punk. He's a little punk. Yes. And see, that's what we like to point out to the right. Kyle Rittenhouse is a little punk ass boy who hit a girl in the back of the head. So why aren't you using that? And the fact that he committed several laws. He committed several crimes. Well, he violated several laws that night. And I'm at the Culver City stairs. I'm rucking the Culver City stairs. So Kyle Rittenhouse violated laws. He had a past. He hit up girls like a little punk ass bitch. So, but the right don't care about that because he's on their side. That's the point. The point is the hypocrisy is clear and we need to start calling these people out on it. If you know what I'm saying? But the cognitive dissonance and the cult of personality disorder kind of makes that nearly impossible. So, but at the time of the shooting, at that very moment, which is what we like, people that use a level of logic that is not very attainable for many people. What happened at the moment, in the moment, where the past incidences have nothing to do with him hitting the girl in the back of the head did not have anything to do with those people attacking him, right? Nothing to do with it. Just like Jacob Blake, his past assault charge on the police officer, because that's what his previous charge was. His previous conviction was because he had assaulted a police officer. That had nothing to do with what was going on when he was walking away from the cops, had his back to them, and was getting into his car when he got shot. So if you got to be, if you can't be level across the board, then what you doing? If you can't be objective completely, you want to claim you're objective, you want to claim that you're logical, but you're really not, because you give passes to certain people and not to others based on their ideology or based on what you feel they were doing there, right? The right has called Kyle Rittenhouse a hero, right? The left has called George Floyd a hero. They both have pasts, right? And the right would like to say George Floyd is not a hero because of his past. But they won't say that about Kyle Rittenhouse. You see what I'm getting at? But as far as him having a firearm, listen, man. Dijon Kazee, who I was making this video for, who got murdered by the police because they saw a gun in his clothes that he had dropped. Even though he wasn't reaching for it, they shot him. I don't know if he has a criminal past or not. I'm pretty sure they'll dig something up to justify it. They'll dig up whatever they can to justify that shooting. What are the rules of engagement for the popo? If they see that you have a weapon that could be used to harm someone, can they just shoot you now? If they're in the process of giving you a citation or trying to stop you for a traffic violation, they see that you have some perceived weapon, can they just shoot you now? No, I'm not in Colorado. I'm in California. So yeah, Marcy T has the answer. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. You know why? Qualified immunity. The police have qualified immunity, which gives them the bold ability to go around doing whatever they want, because they know they're going to get paid administratively. They don't fall under the same rules as we do. If we violate a crime, they don't go to jail necessarily until the indictment. Once they get the indictment, then they go to jail. But we don't get that courtesy, do we? As soon as we're suspected of a crime and arrested, we have to serve time in jail until there's an indictment. Even if there's an indictment, even if you're like suspected in a crime and they have to bring about enough evidence to indict you, sometimes you don't go to jail until that time. But, other times you have to sit in jail. That don't happen to police officers. There are no rules of engagement for cops. There are rules of engagement for soldiers who get sent off to foreign lands to kill for the banksters. It's interesting how a soldier has less carte blanche to kill overseas than the cops do out here. On top of which, they're militarizing the police. That's the problem. So now we have protests in LA over the death of Dijon Kazee. Jesus Christ. Fuck at that, man. $8,000 people up here. Fuck. So, what's that gonna turn into? The NFAC will be in Kentucky this Saturday, the 5th. Then could be another potential situation for unnecessary violence. Well, I really know people with weapons. Are you kidding me right now? People should never have weapons. The mind is parable. If they do, the first thing they should see on routine stop is the papers on that weapon. The mind is parable. Are you kidding me? I don't know, man. That sounds crazy to me. That sounds crazy. You don't mean that. Papers? Show me your papers. What was it, Nazi Germany? He better not be a troll with a goddamn wrench. Now, I believe in free speech, but that means that I'm not going to delete you for saying that nonsense, but I will take your wrench if that's what you believe. If you believe that people need papers to have weapons, then I'm going to take your wrench. And you can stay in the chat if you want, but that's where I draw the line, my friend. That's where I draw the line. I mean that. If someone is strapped, it should be in the trunk. You should have papers. Okay, you're done. No more moderator for the Mindless Parable. You can stay in the chat though if you feel like it. Kidding me? Who gives the cops their weapon? Where they get their papers from? In the trunk. What's the point? Should I keep my truck in the truck as well? My trunk could be as a weapon. Should I have to detach my hands, put those in the trunk? Those are weapons too. They're more honed than most people's. Everybody has weapons with these. Some just don't know how to use them. Man. Yeah. Jesus said that those who do not have a sword, may you sell your cloak and buy one. That's what Jesus said. Mindless Parable. What are you talking about? Legal to carry in California? They take our rights. They're away when we get processed. What you talking about, Minus? I don't care about a piece of legislation or a man-made edict that says that we can no longer carry in California. I don't care about no edict or a man-made law. It's a man-made law. It's irrelevant. People just choose to follow those edicts. But guess who doesn't? Criminals. You think criminals care? I'm talking about actual criminals. I'm talking about criminals that do harm to others, that steal from others, that violate other people's privacy, that violates other people's property. Do you think those criminals care about the law? Oh man, are you kidding me? If criminals cared about laws, we wouldn't have crack houses. We wouldn't have illegal guns on the streets. We wouldn't have crime. If they cared about laws, so why should we care about a law? No, I don't care if Dijon Kazee had a license to carry his firearm when he was murdered. I don't care about that. But you know they're going to use that against him. Oh, he died because he was carrying a firearm that he couldn't legally possess. Okay, so that means he needed to die though, right? The gun was on the ground in a bundle of clothes. He didn't reach for it. The cops could have did a number of things to prevent him from getting to that weapon. But as you know, most of them are too pussy to fight or to put up or to deal with a fight, right? They might not be scared to the point where, they'll run away from you, but they might be scared to fight you. That's why I have those firearms. See, what's stopping their fear is the fact they have that badge and that gun. Without it, they'd be pussies. They will be scared. If cops were actually scared, they would run away from the people that they're trying to, that they feel are a threat. They would run from them and use violence as a last resort. But no, these cops, they kill you first, say they scared afterward. It's a damn lie. The maritime law rules over the nation. I don't give a hot fuck. What are you not understanding, maritime, Minus Parable? What are you not understanding? I don't give a hot fuck about a maritime law. What that got to do with me? Yup. I tell you, the Minus Parable, you must not have watched enough of my videos. I don't give a hot damn about a maritime law. I don't give a hot damn about an earth time law. I don't care about the moon's laws. I don't care about the law in Russia. I don't give a hot fuck about anybody's man-made laws. But you stuck in this cognitive. See, you know what cognitive dissonance? A lot of people throw around that word, but many people don't know what it is. A cognitive dissonance is when you hold two opposing beliefs at the same time. Two completely contradictory beliefs. At least two. At the same time. Like believing that you can be free while being controlled by the government. Believing that you're free while being controlled by the government. Believing that you're a free individual, a sovereign individual, while still being held under the laws of the man. Man-made laws, they're not made for free people. They're made to control you. If you think you're free and controlled at the same time, then you're suffering from cognitive dissonance. Thank you, Mr. President, for the hate and division you have caused. I don't know about that. The hate and division has been there. They'll say his traffic violation negated his CCL. You know, 1113. I'm gonna say that because he was in California, he probably didn't have a CCL. He probably didn't have one. This is a shall issue state, not a may issue state. So even if you demonstrate that you're a good person, that you're a LAC, a law-abiding citizen, and all that, you can prove that you have a right to have that firearm and be able to carry it concealed. But they don't have to give it to you. In LA County, you will not get one unless somebody has a gun in your head and they got it on video. You have to literally have been threatened, have an open, like if you operate a business and you deal in cash, that's one way. If you have a restraining order out on somebody, an active restraining order, where there was violence before and then you had a restraining order, that's one way to get a CCL. Other than that, you can't go in there and say, oh, I'm a good citizen. I haven't violated any laws. I haven't been convicted of any crimes. Boom, boom, boom. You can be a model citizen. They still won't give it to you. So the odds are this cat, unless he was a security guard, an armed security guard, that's one way to get it. Armed security. But no, you know, he probably didn't have one, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he had one or not. And that's the point. That's the point. We don't know what he was doing with that firearm, right? We can assume, oh, he's a black guy. Oh, he has dreadlocks. Oh, he has tattoos. Oh, he's in South Central. He was probably a gang member. It's easy to assume that. But you can go this way. Oh, he's a black dude, lives in South Central. He doesn't gangbang, and there's shootings by his house every day. He doesn't want to be a victim of a shooting. So he probably carries one for his own protection. See, you don't know. You don't know what he had that firearm for. But you know they're gonna come up with something. So I'm getting ahead of it right now. I'm letting y'all know what the right's gonna do because they're so predictable. He shouldn't have run from the police. He shouldn't have dropped the clothes with the gun in it. He shouldn't have resisted arrest. Listen, at the end of the day, the problem started when they accosted him in the first place for violating a traffic regulation on a bike. on a bike. And I'm interested in seeing what that violation was. Now let's see. No, we are on the same side of the law. No, we're not. I'm not on either side of the law. Or provoking a straw man argument on allegations in court being held on bail before a jury of our peers without proof and written consent and proceedings in the court of law. If you paid society back by being locked up, you should be able to carry again. Exactly. You served your time, right? You paid your debt to society. You should be able to come out and do whatever the hell you want, as long as you don't violate, as long as you don't create a victim of someone. And it also depends on what that crime is. If the crime was having a dime bag of weed in your pocket, that's not a crime. So there should be no debt, right? Before weed was legal, if you, like, come on. Carrying a dime bag of weed should not constitute your rights being taken away. And guess what one of those rights are? Keeping them bearing arms. Introverted, what's up, man? You have been able to carry for 15 years? Why not? Speaking of security guards, didn't they shoot a Mexican kid in the back? I have no idea. All of LA shot a kid in the back? You need to be more specific than that. 11-13. Oh, a security guard. You're saying the security guard shot a Mexican kid in the back. I don't know about that. I need to look into it. Well, you know what? Mine's parable. Hopefully we can get to a point where you don't have to worry about that. You can carry whatever hell you want to carry, regardless of what you did in the past, unless you're a child molester or a rapist. Now, I don't care how much debt. There's no debt you can pay. There's no debt you can repay for molesting a child and raping a woman or raping anybody. You rape anybody, you molest, you rape a child, you molest a child, anything like that, there's no debt you can pay. You got to go. And I recommend the 10-cent solution. What's the 10-cent solution? Oh, it's about 9 millimeters in diameter. I think you guys get the picture. Maybe a 22, close range. You know, one shot in the dome should do it, right? It bounces around there, scrambles your brains. You know it's going to kill you, but it has to be close range. You got to penetrate the skull. So anyway, that's the only debt you can pay, in my mind. That's the only debt. Amin Ra was good. Russian instant solution. Yep. Exactly. Summary execution. That's all a child molester or rapist deserves. They don't deserve any type of You don't get to pay a debt. You don't get to pay a debt. What am I carrying? I'm not carrying anything because I'm in California. Can't carry in California. Unfortunately. Right? I can't carry. All my weapons are in Las Vegas at the bottom of a lake. That happened because of a boating accident. So, not even a knife. I mean, you can carry a knife. Yeah. You can carry a knife. I have several. I have several knives. Here in San Diego. Hey, I can carry a knife. Armony Elmore. Rodney Morris. Yeah, me too, man. 11-13, you keeping knives 24/7? Yeah. It's all good. Cold Steel makes some good shit. They make good knives, good blades. I like their bat. I have one of their bats, some karambits. I have a knuckle knife. Water on you. Yeah, it's actually a lot cooler today than normal. Can Chicago ever change? Well, not with the current leadership. Not with the current leadership. See, people rely on the wrong things to make change. Sometimes you got to go out and make that change yourself, right? Matter of fact, my mom is in Chicago right now. She started a program for like violence prevention and gang prevention out there. That she's actually been doing it for the last few years. But she was flying back and forth from here to Chicago. So she moved to Chicago so that she can work full time on her program. It was geared towards young girls who were caught up in that life. And she's been doing some good stuff with it. You know, she has a nonprofit organization out there. It's difficult for her to get funding because no one really cares about it. I believe there are good people just trying to help us. That's not enough. Tasers and batons. Let me tell you something. Everybody should be able to have what exists in the world today. If it exists and you can afford it, you should be able to have it. As long as you don't violate. And what I mean by violate other people. Don't victimize other people with those items, and you should be able to have whatever the hell you want. It's simple. If it exists and somebody else has it, I don't know if they're going to use it against me one day. So I should be able to have the same thing. And I mean anything. Name something, and I can tell you that we should be able to have it. Well, you know, my mom actually started her program in California. But the city or the state were not interested in funding it. So, see, when people say that no one cares about black on black crime in the community, it's not true. There are many programs that people have to try to stop the violence. There are plenty of gang intervention programs in these cities. They just don't get the spotlight. So of course, it's easy to say that. Absolutely, Rodney Morrison. Grenade launchers, why not? Do any exist in the world? Oh, she did? 11/13? Congratulations to your mother. Congratulations. Good. Oh, Tisha Sade, what's good, mama? Yep, I'm live, doing my rucking. We're talking about, if you're just getting here, we're talking about The question is, what are the rules of engagement for the big blue army or big blue gang? However you want to look at it. What are the rules of engagement? I'm good, how are you? And we came to the conclusion there are no rules of engagement. If a cop feels a need to, they can just shoot you on sight. That's what we decided the rules of engagement are. So pass the word. Let everybody know that if they encounter a police officer, that officer has the qualified immunity right to kill you with impunity. Now, it's not absolute, because every now and then, they'll go to jail. They'll get 10 years like Amber Geiger did. Amber Geiger, let's talk about her for a minute. Amber Geiger walked up into a grown man's house, shot him dead while he was eating ice cream, and said that she thought that she was going into her own home. Even though they know that that's not true. Even though she was standing around waiting to go into the apartment. She was so tired from her shift that she went to the wrong ass floor, broke into his house. Wait, no, the door wasn't closed, from what I understand. So she walked up in the house, shot the man while he was eating ice cream. And she gets 10 years because they knew she was full of shit. See, they convicted her because they knew she was full of shit. They knew that she actually intended to kill that man because guess what? She got that black D. Let's just face it. Let's just be real about it. She got the black D. She fell on that magic stick. That magic stick knocked her out the box. She ain't never experienced nothing in her life. She never had nobody so deep. So guess what? He decided to stop fucking with her. And she was like, oh, hell no. I'm going to use my qualified immunity to run up in his house and kill him while he's eating ice cream. She fell. See, that black D got him killed. Let's just face it. Let's face it. Once you get that black D, there'll never be another tree. I don't know. So, and come on. We know that they used to fox around, right? We know that. Come on. They had a witness that saw her doing what she was doing. Listen, she was convicted because they knew she murdered that man. And the judge gave her 10 years. They sentenced her to 10 years. If that were me or you, let's say Tiffany, you ran up into your ex-boyfriend's house, shot him while he was in ice cream, do you think that they would give you just 10 years? Hell no, they give you 25 to life. This is what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Even if they do pay for their crimes while in uniform, they get a discount. They pay a discount. You understand? And they get hugs and Bibles. So what are we talking about here? What about Tatiana Jefferson? Whatever happened to her killer? I need to look that up. I need to get back into that. I haven't heard anything about her since for a minute. I don't know if you guys remember Tatiana Jefferson. Tatiana Jefferson was at home playing video games with, I think, her nephew or grandson or something. And it's like in the middle of the night, she has a firearm, which is her right because she's in Texas, and they allowed her to keep that right, unless it has to do with a police officer anyway. So her neighbor calls the police for a wellness visit because he was concerned because her door was open in the middle of the night. First of all, why is he doing that? If you're a neighbor and you're concerned, why don't you go over there and knock on her door before you call the police? Anyway, that's another story. So,
Okay.
Front door's open. The screen's closed, right? The front door's open. The screen's closed.
I sometimes like forget that.
They show up, right? The cops show up. Do they go to the front door? No, they don't. They don't go to the front door. They don't knock. They creep. They creep around to a side window. They pass two doors, actually. The front door and the side door. Huh? Bypass the open front door with the screen closed. Creep around the fucking house. See her in through a window. She sees them. She grabs her firearm. They don't identify themselves at all. She picks up her firearm. They shoot her through the window. I need to see what happened to that officer. He shot her through the window. It's on video too, a body camera. So, you see the whole thing playing out. Why are you creeping around in her house, in her yard, dude? Whew. No, they didn't take me out, man. My wife FaceTimed me. And you know, when my wife FaceTimes me, I got to answer. Sorry about that. Nothing, you got a transfer? Okay, so we're talking about the cop that killed Tatiana Jefferson in Texas. And I believe that Rodney Morrison is saying that that cop, nothing happened to him but a damn transfer. So I need to look into that again. All I know is no way you can justify that one. And as you can see, no one on the right has made a video about it after the details came out. They said, no, we're leaving that alone. And I'm talking about ABL. I'm talking about Brandon Tatum and the like. If there's any ambiguity as to a person's past, then they'll ride that to justify the shooting. But if there's no inkling of any past for the victim of a police officer, they'll leave it alone completely. Like with Tatiana Jefferson, she was an upstanding citizen. She did nothing wrong at all. They don't want to touch it. Matter of fact, y'all should tune in to ABL's live on Wednesday, because I'm going to call him. And I'm going to ask him about Tatiana Jefferson. But first, I have to get all my information and my facts together before I approach him with it. Y'all want to see if ABL is real? Check that out. Go check out Wednesday. I'm going to take him to task if I can get through on the phone. If I can get through, I'm going to take him to task like I've done before. First time I did it was when, okay, for sure. We need to do. We need to break these echo chambers that these people have. They're way too comfortable in their echo chambers. So we need to break that and call them on their shit. But with ABL, you gotta be careful, because if you get too raw on him, he'll mute you. He'll get you off the phone hot quick. He's not a fair person, so you gotta be kind of tactful when you call an ABL show. I would love to get him to have a conversation with me on some neutral territory. If I can get ABL on some neutral territory where he can't mute you, where he can't hang up on you, where he has to sit there and get what he got coming, it'll be a beautiful day. But you got to be careful when you're on the phone with him on this show. But I got a way to do it. The first time I did it was when Donald Trump signed Was it, wait. Was the bump stock ban an executive order, or was it a piece of legislation that he signed? I forgot which one, but he enacted the bump stock ban, and I called him to task on that. And he tried to tell me that a bump stock is not a firearm. I went over this the other day. I said, but it's part of a firearm. Anyway, any excuse he can make for Trump to pull Trump's bullshit, he'll do it. Like when I asked him, did you hear when Trump said he likes take the guns first, due process second? He acted like he didn't know about that. He said, oh, I didn't hear that. Oh, no, I never heard about that. Pumpkins. Take the gun first, then due process. Yeah, but he never heard him. You're talking about a guy who thinks Trump is the best human being on earth. Never heard him say that he takes the gun first, due process second. And he had no problem with the bump stock ban because it's not an arm. Oh, Thomas Dog, ABL is Anthony Brian Logan. He's a black conservative, all right, who is completely bought in to the left-right paradigm. He's a statist and believes that laws precede human rights. He's one of those. Trump said, yes, silencers are not silencers. You understand? They don't silence the weapon. They dampen the noise to protect the ears of the shooter. That's what they do. Trump says that, and Feinstein rubs her hands with like a gabbler. Yeah. Listen. Bellicose hyperbole. I'm gonna call him a task. I am going to bring it to ABL on Wednesday, if I can get through on the phone. Because when I first started watching him, he was a little bit more objective, slightly more objective when I first started watching him. But once certain things started happening and he completely bought in, there was no turning back for him. Once you reach that level, got my whoop on, y'all. Once you reach that level and you're so used to all the super chats, you're used to all the praise from the people on the right that support you because you're saying what they want to hear, very difficult to pull yourself out of that. But when I first started calling him, I asked him if he would do an interview with me on my channel. That's when I had like 300-400 subscribers. I wasn't big. And what I was talking about on that show, you know, I was saying a lot of shit that made sense to people. See what I'm saying? I said a lot of common sense things that people in his chat, even especially the right wingers, and I wasn't even saying, and I'm not right wing. I wasn't even saying anything that was pro-right. I was just saying shit. I was talking about our freedoms and our rights, and they were agreeing with me. And everybody wanted him to do an interview with me because they liked what I had to say. You know why? Not because I was telling them what they wanted to hear. It's because I was speaking truth to power. I was telling them what they needed to hear. I was reminding them of what freedom is. So they said, okay, yeah, ABL, let him interview you. He told me to shoot him an email. Shot him an email. He never replied. You know, I'm sure he went to my channel, saw that I only had, oh, look, a snake. It's a tiny sucker, but oh no, a snake crossed my path. What does that mean? Anyway, he probably went to my channel, saw that I only had about 300 subscribers and said, nah, it's not worth it, which is okay. You don't have to let me interview you. It's okay. Everybody has their reasons for doing shit. Some people don't like to punch down. It's okay. You know, I'm not trying to ride the coattails of anybody. I'm not trying to clout chase and get numbers. As a matter of fact, and it's funny, they'll call me a clout chaser. They'll say I'm trying to get subscribers off of people. But I know invariably that if I say anything against these people's favorite YouTubers, I get lambasted every time. My like to dislike ratio is horrible. I might lose some subscribers because I did it. I don't care. I'm gonna keep speaking on it. Now, and I still get lambasted. I still get comments every day from people who come in and cape for Heavy Duty Country, Brandon Tatum, and even Brian from High Impact Flicks, because I made a video response to something he said, and it wasn't even a personal attack. I was attacking his ideas with substantiated evidence and a substantiated argument. And even people, they don't care why. If you go against their favorite person, they're gonna come after you. You don't get you don't get followers like that. You don't get subscribers like that. The only way you do is if you go after somebody famous that everybody else don't like. You know what I'm saying? That person is very controversial. And then it's really the people that have that love-hate relationship with the people out there that they put their face out in front of. Because a lot of people are going to hate them. A lot of people are going to love them. And if you go either way and you use their name, you're going to gain subscribers from either side based on what you say about them. But there's some people out there that so many people love, and that the people that might not like them don't even know about them. Like the Heavy Duty Country, or ABL, or Brandon Tatum, or Steven Crowder, all these people, right? They have a lot of people that love them, but the people that might not like them or might disagree with them, they don't know about them. So if you go after them, you're likely going to get bashed. You understand what I'm saying? More people are going to go after you than go for you. So yeah, it's not about clout chasing. It's about, and you can see when people, you can tell when you call them out on their hypocrisy and they feel bad about it, because they'll attack you personally. They'll start attacking you instead of attacking your argument. My bro, always a pleasure. Somebody, you really putting in work. No matter what I'm doing, even work I drop and gets inhaling all the knowledge and building my precious brain blocks. For sure. That's what I'm here for. That's the rationale I was talking about. Rodney Morrison said, bellicose hyperbole, 737, DOD and the corporation pointing their candidate status, the unnecessary eaters, lead pill or vaccine. I'm not taking either. I'm gonna fight. Who's a black Ben Shapiro? Rodney True. J-Rock, I agree. Trump has done more to hurt the 2A than Obama. I'm gonna tell you why. Under Obama, there were no federal gun laws introduced. Zero. There were plenty state gun control laws, but zero federal. What happens when Trump gets in office? He does one, the bump stock ban. And now he's encouraging states to implement red flag laws. Y'all think that's just Bloomberg? Y'all think that's just Soros? Do you think that's just every time for gun safety? No. It's also Dan Crenshaw, Donald Trump. There are plenty right-wing politicians that want these states to have red flag laws. They want the states to do them because they don't want to lose the support from the right. So they can't do a federal red flag law because they'll lose much support. They'll lose a lot of support. Because at that point, no one can deny that Trump is not a freedom hater. They can't deny that Trump is not a bankster puppet if he enacts a nationwide red flag law. So he has to encourage states to do it. But he'll say shit like due process second, takes guns first, and his supporters will say, hey, he was just blowing hot air. Oh, no, he was just full of shit. He was just trying to appease the left. Wait, so you telling me that Trump is full of shit, but I thought you loved Trump because he told it like it is. He don't lie. Oh, he say what's on his mind. These people don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. Dan Crenshaw is a gun. Hell yeah, he's a gun grabber. He's up here trying to justify gun.
It's on the same side.
He's up here justifying red flag laws. He's up here trying to explain why red flag laws don't violate the Second Amendment. He's full of shit. Dan Crenshaw, they put his little pretty eye patch on him. Oh, he's a Navy SEAL. Oh, this, that, and the third. Oh, he got his eye taken out with shrapnel. So therefore, and then he claims to be a conservative. Then he comes up with the TAPS Act with his boy Brian Babin in Texas, which is like the red flag laws. So it's like the TAPS Act is red flag / Patriot Act / Minority Report all rolled into one. He is responsible for that. Your boy Dan Crenshaw, he full of shit. I'll tell you that right now. Donald Trump. Listen, I know I bigged Donald Trump up because during his administration, there are a lot of pedophile rings being broken up. But I still can't get past some of this other shit that's going on under his watch with our rights. At all. How can I? I can't overlook that stuff just because, okay. Operation Not Forgotten. Beautiful thing. Let's find these children. Okay. And then now what? Now what? Keep doing that. How about you keep doing that and you defend our rights to keep and bear arms and every other right we have? Civil asset forfeiture. He's for that. Donald Trump is for civil asset forfeiture. You understand? How many stories have you heard about innocent people having their life ruined because of civil asset forfeiture? Because with civil asset forfeiture, they can take all your assets for a suspected crime. Suspected. You don't even have to be charged with anything. And they don't ever have to give you the money back. Even if you're found innocent, you're asked out. Donald Trump is for that. I'm supposed to overlook that because 39 kids were found? Big up for that. What else you got? Don't shine shit and call it gold, my friend. Yeah, it's a pre-crime bill. TAPS Act, Threat Assessment, Prevention and Safety Act. Basically, let's say for instance, okay, it's worse. It's the red flag law on steroids because with the red flag law, someone has to call the police and say, oh, I think this guy is a danger to himself and others. He did this, he did that. They don't even have to have proof. They can just make some shit up. So Then, so the cops can go to a judge, have an ex parte hearing without you being present, without you being able to defend yourself. And the judge can issue a warrant for them to come take every weapon you have, not just firearms. Y'all got that twisted. Y'all think it's just firearms? No, 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 no. Any weapon that they feel you might be a threat with. They can ex parte hearing without the accused being present. No proof, no evidence. They can come to your house and take your shit. So what the TAPS Act would do, all right, it beefs that up. Yeah, exactly. I'm getting to that bellicose hyperbole. Oh, I did a presentation on the TAPS Act last year. I've been on this TAPS Act. Yeah, so, last year, I did a presentation on the TAPS Act. But what it does is, it takes the red flag laws a step further, all right? No one has to call it in anymore with the TAPS Act. With the TAPS Act, they will have task force, okay? Government task force that will go in to social media accounts. They'll go on your YouTube channel. They'll see if you talking any kind of shit. If you talk any kind of shit against the government, against anybody, it doesn't even have to be violence or anything. They can take what you say on social media and be like, you know, this guy might be a threat. So guess what? They can come to you based on what they saw on your social media account or on your YouTube channel or a Twitter post. And they can say, oh yeah, let's go grab that guy. They can grab you, place you in a holding facility, have you undergo psychological testing and all that other shit. Because they feel like you might, based on what your post said, based on your last vlog, based on your podcast, we feel like you might be a threat in the future. So they'll rendition your ass. Okay? You heard of rendition? They'll take you to a black site and interrogate you to determine if you are indeed a legitimate threat to the country or to anybody else. That is essentially what the TAPS Act is. The TAPS Act is a minority report. So they won't need red flag laws. If this gets signed into law by Trump, they will not need a red flag law. This TAPS Act is all encompassing. So we got that to look forward to. Man. All right. Let these people pass. So yeah. And guess what? Can you guys guess what kind of support the TAPS Act has in Congress right now? Bipartisan, across the board, 50-50. The TAPS Act will eliminate the First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, and the Fifth Amendment. You won't have the right to remain silent because they'll just use whatever the fuck you said in your post and they'll turn it into something else. See, you won't have to go to court. They won't have to take you to court, right? With the TAPS Act, it bypasses all that. They come snatch your ass up. And by the time they're done with you, they won't need you to go to jail. You'll be a compliant motherfucker by then, or you'll be dead. Either way. So that's when you have a choice. Die or comply. If the TAPS Act comes into law and they come to your door because you said, man, you know what? I'm not feeling the cops today. They're going around killing people. They should be punished for their actions. You say that, they can take that as a threat. Come to your house. Interrogate you. Place you on a psychological evaluation, which is subjective as a motherfucker. What kind of science is in that? Mossad is watching. Blockchain never forgets. GTHE. Yeah, the blockchain never forgets. YouTube is watching, of course. It's already set up. It's already set up. These agencies already have a back door into YouTube and all this other shit. So when the TAPS Act is enacted, it's going to go into operation right away. It's going to be a firestorm immediately. A lot of people are going to get locked up. They're going to be getting snatched up because of the TAPS Act. You understand? Bipartisan support across the board. 50-50. Now, I haven't been to the TAPS Act site lately, but I'm gonna go check it out and I'm gonna give you guys an update on where the TAPS Act is in Senate, what process is it in. It's interesting that the left and the right can't come together for shit unless it's to do something like this. Unless they want to violate the American people. Right? Like I said before, the Patriot Act was bipartisan. The Model State Health Emergency Powers Act, bipartisan. TAPS Act, bipartisan. I'm surprised Trump haven't signed it into law yet. He might be waiting until after see, this is what they could be doing with the TAPS Act. They're probably going to wait until after the elections. And they're going to push it through. And don't think Trump won't sign it into law. Because guess why? Yes, y'all don't see the setup. Y'all don't see the Hegelian dialectic at play here. Problem, reaction, solution. Create a problem or hijack it. Wait for the fear-based reaction, which is what we have right now. So, what do we have? Well, we have the Tecate bug, right? We got the Tecate bug sweeping the nation, right? States enact the Model State Health Emergency Powers Act while the people are in fear of this Tecate bug. Problem, reaction, solution right there, pimpins. Now what do you have? What's the bigger problem now? George Floyd, Jacob Blake, Ahmaud Tatiana Jefferson, even though no one is talking about that, probably because it was an outright murder. And if it's an outright murder, they don't want to talk about it. Breonna Taylor, problems. What's the added problem? Riots, protests. Huh? What else do you have? You have people like, what's that cat's name? And this is why I'm on Fox BLM. What's that dude's name? The head of the BLM chapter in New York. Do y'all know his name? He got like an animal name or something. Black dude. Y'all know his name? The head of the New York chapter of BLM. He's done several interviews. Black dude. I forgot his name. Thomas Dog. America will become one big prison. It's already a big prison. It's just now the inmates are starting to realize the bars are there. That's the only difference. We're already in a big prison. We just haven't started seeing the bars yet. I've seen the bars for a while. I've seen the bars for the last 20 years. I've been doing this shit for 20 years. After I got out the Army, I was immediately drawn into the freedom fight under a different banner, under a different set of ideologies, right? I told you guys about my stint with the Black Power movement. I had a stint with the Black Power movement. What happened with that? Well, egos, power tripping, all talk, no action. That's what happened with that Black Power movement. So I got out of that shit. They were full of shit. They weren't really trying to make moves. When we had the opportunity to take over some sovereign land that Native Americans offered to us, it was a sweet deal. We were to take over their land, sovereign land, where we could carry arms, we can grow our own food, all this shit. In the mountains, no reception. We had the opportunity to take over this sovereign land because our brothers, our Native American brothers and sisters, said, you guys can take this land over and we're gonna handle this casino. They want to have the money. They want to help us build there. But it was going to be a rough start. You had to cultivate the land. You had to take care of it. There was no running electricity or anything like that. We had the opportunity. That's how I knew that it wasn't real. We had the, I don't lie, there was one chick that was ready. She was like, come on, let's do this. Let's make this happen. But she was the only one. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this with you. She was a little off her rocker a little bit. But the thing is, when it's time to make moves, people ain't ready to pick up the goddamn feet. So as soon as I discovered that, I was like, okay, I'm out of here. But what I learned from them, I learned a lot from these people. I had just got out the Army. I was a so-called patriot, right? But I had seen things in the Army that made me second guess my patriotism. You understand what I'm saying? So then it was easy. I was highly susceptible to being caught up in the Black Power movement. But really at the end of the day, it was about obtaining freedom and sovereignty, breaking off from the government, and not having the government all up in your business. And that's what I want for everybody. You should be able to opt out. It's about opting out. So now it's not so much about the Black Power movement for me. It's about the freedom movement. Freedom for everyone. For anybody that wants to opt out of this system, they should be able to opt out without any problems. What was I saying? It's not fear, more respect. America became a corporation in 1871. Yep. Each department in its own business entity, exactly. Hijacking BLM. So, oh yeah. I was getting into the new Hegelian dialectic, the big Hegelian dialectic at play here. You have the riots. And what's that dude's name? He said, if black people don't get what they want on national television, if black people don't get what they want, we're gonna burn this country to the ground. What else do we have? We have the NFAC leader, Grandmaster Jay, saying, if we don't get justice for Breonna Taylor, we're gonna burn this MFR down, right? That's what he said. We got people running around talking about they're gonna burn shit down. Grandmaster Jay running around talking about he's gonna kill black people who don't agree with him, or have his soldiers kill him. We got that going on. We got all these people talking shit, talking that rah-rah shit on TV and on the internet, right? But they're still walking around. They're still walking around. They haven't been arrested for terroristic threats, huh? And they still can operate as they see fit. Talk about controlled opposition. Anyway, so you have that going on, right? Hear me out. This is the TAPS Act, Hegelian dialectic. You have that going on. You got Farrakhan for the last 30 years threatening the government, talking shit to the government. Nothing happens. You got these riots. You got these people saying a lot of shit online. You got a lot of people posting shit. A lot of crazy shit online. Then you have the election. Not soon after the election, they decide to pass the TAPS Act. Why? Well, you know, because we got all these people online and on their social media posts and on YouTube threatening police, threatening to burn this down, threatening to burn that down. And we could have taken action, but we couldn't take action because there was no law in place to go take care of them for making these statements. We need a law that's going to allow us to lock these criminals up, to stop them before they commit these crimes. If we don't want our city to burn, then we'll pass the TAPS Act so that we can stop these criminals from committing these crimes before they happen. If they tell us they're going to burn the city to the ground, we got to take them seriously. And we got to go take them and psychologically evaluate them. And we got to do this, we got to do that. Or they'll come to your town. They'll come to your city. They'll come to your block and they'll take over your city, blah, blah. They'll burn the shit down. We could have stopped them, but we didn't have anything in the place to do so. So we need to pass the TAPS Act. If we do this, we'll save this country. That sound like that might be something that might be right? Does that sound like something that they would say? Y'all tell me. Do you hear words like that coming out of their mouth? To pass this TAPS Act. We need to pass this TAPS Act so that we can stop them from burning down your city. They told us they were going to burn it down. And we could do nothing. Our hands were tied. But now, if we pass the TAPS Act under federal law, we can send our agents in to snatch you up, interrogate you. Y'all tell me. Problem, reaction, solution. We're going to be afraid of having our city burned down. We're going to be afraid of having our business burned to the ground. We're going to be highly afraid of that. The fear is there. It's already there. The fear is there. Oh, is it there? Be a perfect opportunity. What did Rahm Emanuel say? Never let a good crisis go to waste. Because we could do what we would not be able to otherwise do without that crisis. Right now, we've had a crisis of riots for 90 days. For 90 days, cities have been burned to the ground. People have been killed. 30 people at this point. 30, maybe more than 30 people killed during these riots. That's the problem, right? Aren't you afraid? Aren't you afraid that you're next? Poor guy, a Trump supporter, just got shot to death for wearing a t-shirt in Portland. The guy that shot him, did you guys know that he was arrested before for carrying a firearm during a protest? And they let him go? They let him go. He was carrying a firearm at a protest, and they let him go. And guess what? A few days later, he killed somebody. 2 days later. Did y'all know that? Forgot to tell y'all that update. The guy that killed that dude, I forgot his name. He was arrested. They had him, right? They had him for a crime that I wouldn't say is a crime. I mean, you should be able to carry a firearm wherever you want to go, carry a firearm. But apparently he was threatening or something like that. They let him go. Boom, he kills 2 people. Or not 2 people, kills one guy, 2 shots to the chest. Aren't you afraid that would happen to you? Aren't you afraid? Well, with the TAPS Act, we can stop criminals like this from even getting to that point. That's what we can do. We need the TAPS Act to stop you from being murdered by some crazy online personality person. So that's why we need the TAPS Act to go through. They needed a perfect opportunity. They need the perfect crisis to push the TAPS Act through. And they have it already. They're just waiting. They're waiting for the election. They're taking their sweet time on the TAPS Act. They want to make sure that we don't have a problem with it. You understand? They want to make sure we're not going to have a problem with the TAPS Act. Right? Let me see. But we are going to have a problem with it, aren't we? Are we going to allow them to enact that TAPS Act? You know, they only get away with what we allow them to get away with. They can only do to us what we allow them to do. So are we going to allow them to further enact laws that are going to violate our rights? If they get this TAPS Act through, we're done. You understand? And what I mean by we're done, the pussyfooting, all the fake patriotism, all the left-right paradigm bullshit, that's going to go out the window. If they pass the TAPS Act, if this TAPS Act goes through, we're going to have to start separating the warriors from the sheep. Where my warriors at? Are the warriors ready to stand up? Are we ready to make warriors out of sheep? When the TAPS Act goes through, oh man, that's gonna be the day. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Nothing's gonna save America from its sins. People must understand the Most High is King, and he will have his way, and he is the only one who will get glory and get us out of the dark world, not man. Link Hellifield, you know, I have no issue with people exercising their practicing of religion or practicing what they believe. But I have a question. Doesn't it say in the Bible that faith without works is dead? To me, that sounds like so Link Hellifield. Like I was saying, man, faith without works is dead. So even if God, if you're saying that only God can save us, well, couldn't God save us by working through us? God, if you believe in that, God is going to save us by working through us. If he steps in, he ain't going to step in for you unless he knows you're willing to fight for yourself. I'm not going to sit up here and say, look, we have, how many people needed to step up to fight in the Revolutionary War? To save this country from the redcoats. How many? What percentage? Not even 30% stepped up. We won't need everybody to step up. We'll just need a good number of people that are willing to stand up and fight for everybody else and fight for everybody's freedom. Because I can't be free unless everybody else is free. That's just the bottom line. I can say, oh, I can go off and be free anywhere. I can find some secluded location, mind my own business, and be free. No, because if no one else is free, if not everyone else is free, then eventually that lack of freedom is going to catch up with me. Hell's fallen angels run this world. Why do they run this world? Tell me that. Like I said before, how is the government and how are the elite cabal able to do all the things they're doing to us? Because we allowed them to. We're allowing them to do this to us. We're allowing them to do it. So if the fallen angels are running this world, it's because we're allowing it. We're allowing it. All we have to do is say, not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. That's all we got to do. We got to keep speaking out, and we got to keep making moves and working toward getting ready to obtain our freedom or fight for our freedom. That's all it is to it. How do I think the pyramid was built? I have no idea. I wasn't there. There are a lot of theories. I'm sure you have an idea, a theory. This place is going to shit? Absolutely it has. It's going to shit, but all we got to do is find a good incinerator. It's not hopeless, y'all. Just the fact that you guys are sitting up here listening to me talk about it lets me know that there's hope. I built this channel and building this channel slowly but surely. I don't have a sensational story. I'm not famous. I'm just a regular dude who used to be a veteran that started talking about what I see in the world and how I see the world today and how we're entrapped. My channel's slowly building, but the people who are catching on are really catching on. I don't have an echo chamber. I have people that actually think for themselves, that support me. The Ukrainians run around throwing their corrupt politicians in the dumpsters, literally. I don't see a problem with that. As a matter of fact, that's the principle about how, okay, I wrote a book, and there's a group in that, there's a group a fictional group that I came up with for the stories that I'm writing. It's called, they're called Black Diamonds in the Rough, okay? Black Diamonds in the Rough. And the Rough stands for the RUFF, right? The Rough are the revolutionary underground freedom fighters. Revolutionary underground freedom fighters. And what they do is they take their crooked politicians, right? And they execute them publicly. They execute them publicly, but not before they show proof of their crimes. They show undisputable proof of their crimes before they execute them publicly. Either like online or like in a live or something like that. That's what they do. The group in the stories that I'm writing. So that's how they get down. So it makes sense. Because how can you really change anything? I'm not saying that that's what we do at all. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying that that's how they operated on their extreme. See, just by me saying that or writing a book about that, the TAPS Act, with the TAPS Act, they can come snatch me up. Just because I just said that. Just because I wrote a book with that in there. That's how far reaching the TAPS Act will be. Anyway, Stemzilla has a point. Something must be working. The fact that they keep doing this after they put in this bill out and the bill into act. Severe fear-mongering. Why are they going extra hard makes us wonder. Yeah. Aliens built the pyramids according to Elon Musk. He doesn't think Africans were smart enough to build. Of course he doesn't. Fuck Elon Musk. They actually got ordered from Satan. This is where this technology comes from, and these crazy laws, believe it or not. Steve Ben Dinun, hold on, of Israel News Live claims there is Nephilim DNA in the witch's vaccine brew. Weird. Well, look up Noahide Law. Yeah, I learned a lot about Noahide Law from Adam Green from No More News. I like watching his channel when he does his lives. There's a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot going on. We're gonna keep bringing the information to y'all, but what are we gonna do with it? Anyway, I gotta get off this, man. I'm about to finish up my workout, and I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all stay up, man. Y'all go check out my book, The Seeds of Dark Matter, Disease. It's on Amazon right now. I self-published it. So, yeah, The Seeds of Dark Matter, Disease. It's on Amazon. Author M.E. Magnum. So, yeah, just check it out, man. It's a really good book. Really well written. The story is great. And y'all have a good day, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out.